Fran Hopkins here with Lawrence Parks and Recreation. Today we're going to do a Yogalates flex and flow practice. This would be paired very, very well with the warm-up video that I've already done. Putting those two together will give you approximately 55 to 60 minutes of work. So let's assume that you've already been doing a bit of warm-up, and we'll start out at the top of our mat. So bring your feet underneath your hips, roll your shoulders back and down, and bring your hands with the palms facing forward. Your shoulder tips are drawn back, lengthen through the crown of the head. We're going to do a few circle sweeps up and circle sweeps, reverse circle sweep. Take your hand and reach up. Exhale, sweep down, bend your knees, cross your arms, and rise up. Take a breath in and exhale down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sweep down. Inhale, rise, and sweep down. Good. Inhale, rise, and the next time, sweep into your chair pose. Lift your hands up, and down we go. Lift up, and inhale here, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and now dive forward. Bring your ribs towards your thighs. Bring your hands to the floor. Inhale, look up, bend your knees, and step your right foot back, and then your left foot back, and come into downward facing dog. Walk your heels out a bit. Let's come into a plank pose. Come forward into your plank. Have your feet hip distance apart, your hands shoulder width apart. Roll your shoulders open, lengthen your spine, and hold. From here, push back to downward facing dog and exhale fully. Inhale into your plank. And exhale back. Keep going. Inhale and exhale. Good. The next time you come forward, bring your knees down and lower down part way, push back up and back down to downward facing dog. Keep going. Inhale, knees down, elbows by ribs, push back up and back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, last time, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and hold. Good, good, good. From here, we're going to lift the right foot up. So lift your right foot high and then set it down and lift your left foot. Lift it up and hold. Try to keep your hips square here and set it down. And now let's alternate from side to side. Here comes right and down and left and down and right and down and left and down and right and down and left and down. Last one, right and down and left and down, and just hold here. Beautiful. Open your knees wide, take your toes together, and come back into child's pose and rest. Good. Okay, let's do a modified warrior one sun salutation. So take your tailbone back to your heels, stretch, and then rise yourself up. Take your right foot forward and then lower your hips down. Lift your hands up over your head, and let's just take a few breaths here. Breathing in and out through the nose, lengthening, stretching in that back quadricep and hip flexor. Exhale, bring your hands down and then tuck the toe on the left foot. Step the right foot back to downward facing dog. Good. Come forward into a plank. Bring your knees down, lower down, all the way to the floor. Inhale, lift up. And now take a little dip here and push back to downward facing dog. Okay, so we can come back to our knees, sit ourselves up, and take the left foot forward and bring the knee over the ankle as you lower your hips down and reach your arms up. Take a breath in. Good. Take your hands to the floor and then move. Tuck the toe on that right foot and move the left foot back into downward facing dog. Come forward into your plank. Take your knees down, lower down just partway this time, and lift for your cobra with partly straight arms. You just got a little bend here. Tuck back to downward facing dog. Good. So now we're going to move on this way. You can keep doing this from a kneeling position, or we can start in downward facing dog. We're going to lift the right foot up and step it forward. Bring the left knee down and lift your hands up. Take a breath in. Exhale your hands to the floor. Sweep the right foot back up into the air. You can bring that foot down. Come forward into your plank. Lower down halfway. Up dog. Bit of a push-up. And downward facing dog. Moving on to the other side. Your left foot lifts up. Step it forward. Right knee down. Lift up. Exhale your hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Plank. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Let's do one more set on each side. You choose your option here. And we're just going to bring the foot forward. Inhale. Hands down. Exhale, maybe lift your leg up and keep it lifted. Lower down, lift up, push up, and down. Other side. Left, forward, inhale, back, three-legged dog, forward, down, inhale, push up, and back. And just take a few breaths here. Walk your hips out. Let's try a little back bend. Bring your knees down to the floor and then stand up onto your shins and your knees and the tops of your feet. Reach your hands up. Look up. I'm going to tuck my toes. It's better for me. Draw your pubic bone forward and then reach your hands back. You can bring your fist to your sacrum. You can bring your hands to your hamstrings, or you can walk your hands back to your heels, drawing the shoulder blades together and breathing. And tuck your chin in, lift up, draw your shoulders forward, bring your hands down to the floor, and arch your back up like a cat. Good, good. So let's go ahead and walk your hands forward, move back into your downward facing dog. Nice, nice. So we're going to come up onto the balls of the feet and walk our feet to our hands and hold in a forward fold. Bring your knees together, toes together, and lift up into an intense pose. Coming from there, we're going to twist. So bring your hands down to your heart center, sink lower. And now rotate to your left and bring your right elbow outside the left knee. And look towards your hands. So you've got to make a little space here. You want your hips to be low. Hold. Okay. Look down to protect your neck if you need to. You can spread your wings. and fold. Let's come back up again. Come into your intense pose, hands to heart center, and twist the other direction. Try to line your knees up so that they're on the same plane, and then twist from the waist. That's it. Spread your wings and release down. Now press through your feet and rise up. Take a breath in and exhale. Let's do a few more of those. I'll do them from the front now. You can stay where you are. So first off, we'll come into our intense pose. Bring your hands down. And you're going to take your right elbow over to your left knee and open. Sweep down. This time rise up. Press through your feet. Rise up. Hands down. Other side. Sit. Rotate. Down. Press. Extend. Sweep down. And rise up. Good. And exhale down. Awesome. Let's go ahead and take your feet really, really wide. Bring your hands to your hips. Square your shoulders. And now we're going to turn the right toes to the right. Just spin up on your heel and set them down and press through the edge of the left foot. And we'll take our arms out and then slide your hip over and come to triangle. So you can have your hand on your thigh, your shin, or all the way down to the pinky side of your foot. And release. Lengthen your neck. So it's not as important to come to the floor as it is to roll your shoulder back and get a long spine. Good. Bend your knee and rise up. And we'll go to the other side. Okay. So slide your hip over. Extend, come on down, and tuck your tailbone under and reach. Beautiful, keep breathing. And bend your knee, rise back up. Going back to the right side, we're going to twist that triangle. So turn your toes to the right, and now bring your left hand over and bring it down to the floor by your right foot. Lift your right hand up. Lengthen and breathe and twist. Coming out of there, we're just going to rise ourselves back up and turn sides. Good, good. Turn. Bring your right hand down. Maybe you can take it to the outside of your foot or on the floor. Scissors your thighs together. Rotate. Lengthen your neck. And come out of it. Bend your knee. Sweep down. Rise up and turn forward. Good. Bring your hands to your sacrum. You can bring your thumbs to your sacrum and just lift up. It's in that back bend again. Now, hinge forward with your chest, and now let your hands come down to the floor and line your fingertips up with the toes. Let your head drop. Keep your elbows wide. Draw your navel to your spine. Inhale, look up. Bring your hands to your hips and rise up. Good. Let's do a warrior two. Make sure your feet are still really wide apart. Turn the right toes up, set them down, bend the right knee over the ankle and take your hands out. And now turn your gaze over the middle finger of the right hand. Hold here. And then let's just add a little more heat to this. Straighten your leg and now slide back in. Keep pressing into that left edge of foot. Press. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little more. Bring your forearm to your thigh, or maybe bring your fingertips to the floor on the pinky side of your toe and stretch. So let's get a little more warmth in our shoulder here. Sweep your hand down and around and up, forward, and switch directions. Go back, down, lift, back, down, lift, rise up, and turn. So you may be feeling this in your shoulders. If so, you can always kind of modify. Bring your hands to your hips. Go ahead and bring your knee over your ankle. Press into the edge of that right foot. Lengthen. Good. All right, we're going to straighten the leg, not locking it out, just using those quadricep muscles to lift and lower. Lift and lower. And lift and lower. Lift and stay right here. Sink a little more, either here for your ankle pose or all the way down. Roll the shoulder back. Press to the edge of the back foot. Breathe, breathe. Come on down. Rise back up and bring your toes forward. Good. Take your hands out and back. Bring your fingers together. Roll your shoulder tips back. Really press through your feet. All of your toes should be in like at 12 o'clock, straight forward. And now exhale, dive forward and wrap your hands over your head. Just wrap over. Make softening in your shoulders, softening in your neck, softening in your arms, and release. And then like somebody's lifting your hands up. Lift on up and release. Taking your hands to the top of your mat, you're going to spin your foot forward. Bring your hands down. Step back into a plank. Do a vinyasa. Lower yourself halfway down or all the way. Lift up, roll your shoulders back, tuck back for downward facing dog. Take your feet out to the edges of your mat. Bring your right hand to the center of the mat and press through the hand. And now take your left hand up the middle of your back. So we're stretching one shoulder while we strengthen the other. And switch sides. Place your hand carefully down. Move it to the center. Take the right hand behind. Walk it up the middle of your back. And release. Good, good. So we're going to walk our feet very close together now. Go ahead and roll over onto the right edge of your foot and lift up and hold a full side plank. Keep lifting. Squeezing your inner thighs together. And come back. And we'll go to the other side. Squeeze your feet together and roll over. Line your shoulder over your wrist. Keep lifting your hips, squeezing your legs, lengthening, and release down. Good, good. All right, bend your knees and step your right foot forward by your right hand. Keep your left heel lifted and rise up to your lunge. Standing in a nice crescent lunge, maybe a little lift up. And now bring your fingertips together and point. And see if we can find a warrior three here. Take off. Whoops, I found the wall. That helps me. Lift up Take your hands out and back and set your foot down. Stand up and turn sides. Okay, find your crescent lunge. Lift. Bring your hands together. Point. Take a breath in and lift off. Take your hands out and back and set down. Good, 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 good. All right. Let's go ahead and come into a hip stretch. Get there from down dog. Let's go this direction. Sweep up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, look up. Step back to your plank. Down we go. Up we go. Downward facing dog. Okay. Reach your right foot up. And now bend your knee and open your knee up. Draw your right armpit down. Hold here. Good. Stretch a little more. Straighten your leg up again. Look forward and aim your right foot to your left wrist. Extend your left leg out. Lengthen and fold forward. Breathe. So you're bringing your left hip over to meet your right heel. And if you find your hip lifting up here, that's just fine. And if you need to stay up here, that's fine. If you need to make 90 degrees and lay over, that's fine too. Just long, slow breaths, and every exhale, you release the hip. All right, we're going to inhale, lengthening the spine, and lift up. Tuck the toe on the left foot, and sweep your right foot up the stretch, and set it down. Going on to the other side. Lift the left foot up, bend the knee, crank over. Breathe here to twist and stretch. Straighten the leg back up. Look forward and aim your left foot to your right wrist. Extend the right leg out. Look up, straight here. You can be here. You can be here. And lengthen forward. Breathe. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, lift yourself up, take a big stretch, and sit. Let's go ahead and bring the soles of our feet together. Bring your hands to the ankles and lift up your spine nice and straight. Draw your navel in. Now squeeze your arms with your legs. So squeeze in. Breathe in here. And now exhale, release. Squeeze your buttocks and bring your knees toward the floor. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lower. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale. So you're not pressing your arms against your knees. You're using your mind to take the knees down. You're finding space. You're finding length. And release. Now you can bring your hands to your toes. Take a breath in and exhale. Forward fold with your elbows in towards your inner thighs. or you can bring them forward if you want to put them on your shins. And lift up. Good, good, good. So let's go ahead and do a bit of a twist. Bring your right heel in, and then take your left knee, cross it over the right, and settle yourself in between your feet. So if you find that this hip is lifting up, all you have to do is move this foot forward. You want a firm base. Hands are going to come up. Take a breath in and exhale your nose to your knee and drop your head down and just breathe. Inhale, lift up. Bring your hands down to your heart center. Twist right elbow to left thigh. Twist over. Make space and then roll back. Lengthen your neck. See if you can look at your thumbs. Maybe reach a little bit longer. And release. Go ahead and bring your hand to the edge of your foot. Lift up, hold, and balance. And take your foot down and fold over your leg and stretch. Inhale, look up, and switch sides. Left foot will come in. Right knee crosses over. Settle yourself down into a firm seat. Lift your hands up over your head. Exhale forward. Inhale, lift your hands up. Take a breath in. Bring your hands to heart center. Twist. Left elbow to right thigh or knee. Maybe if you help yourself get there, maybe that's what you need to do. And then start rotating, lengthening your neck, rotating from the waist, breathing here, and extending out. And release. Take your left hand to the floor, right hand to the right edge of your foot. Lift up and balance. And now just slowly, slowly, slowly lower down with control. And fold over your leg. Square your hips to your leg and fold. And lift up. Good. Let's work on a bit of core strength. So we're going to walk, turn ourselves around, roll down to the floor, and bring the knees into the chest. Good, good, good. Cross the ankles. Bring the hands to the floor. And lift your hips off the floor. So lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift, lower, lift. How about 4 more? 4, 3. It's an exhale. Last one. Inhale and release. Bring your feet to the floor and bring your fingertips toward your heels. We're going to lift up into a shoulder bridge. Take a breath in. Exhale, press down through your feet, press down through your shoulders and your triceps, and lift up. Keep a nice long neck here. Breathe. And roll yourself down. Good, 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 good. Okay, cross your ankles and rock up. Bring your feet to the floor and bring your hands forward. We're going to inhale back and exhale up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Couple more. Good. Bring your hands to the floor. Bring your feet underneath your hips. Roll your shoulder tips back and lift up into your tabletop. Moving your knees forward, maybe walking your feet out a little bit more. Lift, squeeze. Don't let your head drop back too far. Come on down and sit up. See if you can balance your feet off the floor and reach your hands forward. Okay, bring your knees in a little closer and lift your shins up. Hold here. And bring your feet down, hands down, shoulders back, tabletop, lift up. Breathe. Come on down. Tabletop. Hold here. Good. 2 more of these. Lift up. And down. Lift. Down. Up. Down. Lift. And now lean back and lift up. Back. Up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now lean all the way back. Hold. Hold. Bring your sacrum to the floor. Hold. Hold. And lower down. And breathe. Woo. Bring your feet in close to your bottom. Feet to the floor. Stretch out with a bridge. Up we go. Walk your shoulder blades together under your body. Make a fist. Lift your hips higher. And release down. Good. Roll your knees around. And go the other direction. And then just roll on over onto your belly. Take your feet out to the edges of your mat with your toes pointed, tops of feet on the mat. Bring your hands back by your hips, palms facing the hips. Inhale, lift up. Lift your legs and hold. Breathe. Roll your shoulders back. And release. Move back to child's pose. Open your knees wide. Take your tailbone to your heels and rest. And now we'll just roll over onto our backs. Take your feet up in the air. Spread them wide. Flex your feet. And pull your knees down towards your ribs, taking your hands to the backs of your hamstrings, bending your knees and flexing your feet, and then reach your fingertips to the outside edges of your feet. Now, if your shoulder blades come off the floor here, by the time you pull down, they're still off, keep your hands back here. You want your head and shoulders on the floor. Maybe you can reach the insides of your feet. The important thing is to unwind the spine. Lengthen it down on the mat. Lengthen your neck. Rest your shoulder blades down. And now just rock from side to side. Happy baby pose. And stop. Release your feet to the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together. Rest your hands on your belly. Good. And now walk your feet out and take your hands under your hips with the palms facing down. So you're sitting on your hips, on your hands, and then press your elbows into the floor to lift your spine and head off the floor. And then draw your shoulder blades together, lean your head back, and maybe it'll touch the floor, maybe not. Just keep arching and lifting. And now we're going to lower down, so lift up a little and then peel your spine down to the floor, let your head land. Move your hands out from under your hips and let them fall open. Let your hands come out to the edges of your mat. Take a breath in through your nose and sigh out through your mouth. Again, inhale. Make sure your body is really comfortable on the floor so that you can rest and let the benefits of the poses and the postures take effect in your body. Close your eyes, relax your face. Now squeeze your hands. Squeeze your hands as much as you can squeeze them and breathe in. Keep squeezing, squeezing. Exhale and let them relax. And now squeeze your triceps. Squeeze them as much as you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale and release. Good. Spread your toes, flex your feet. Spread and release. Squeeze your buttocks and your quadriceps and your hamstrings. And release. And now just breathe. Let your breath be natural, uncontrolled by you. And then notice what the body does with the breath. Just observing. Noticing that you are not the body. The body is the vessel. You're not even this mind. Your consciousness. Allow your eyes to roll back in the sockets to reach for the third eye. On your next inhale, breathe in fully and deeply. Fill up all the way through your torso and pause when the breath meets the base of your throat. And then exhale slowly from the top down to the bottom. Do that again. Inhale from the bottom to the top. Pause and exhale. One more time. And exhale. Shake out your hands and your feet. Bring your knees into your chest. And roll to one side. And sit up. We're going to cross the feet. Sit nice and sturdy. Bring your palms forward. Lift your spine. Tuck your chin into your chest and stretch. And release. Bring your hands to your heart center. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.